She had no connections, no investors, no background in fashion or business, and more than 100 people told her no. Manufacturers laughed at her idea, retailers ignored her calls, and experts told her it would never work. But she kept going. This is the story of how rejection stopped being a barrier and became the reason she succeeded. Before Sara Blakely became a founder, she was a door-to-door salesperson. Every morning she got into her car and drove from office to office, selling fax machines. Most days were brutal and people cut her off mid-sentence. Doors closed before she finished speaking. Phones were hung up without explanation. But something unexpected happened. Her father used to ask her one question every day. What did you fail at today? If she had failed, he celebrated it. Over time, failure stopped feeling personal. Rejection stopped being painful. It became normal, and that mindset would later change everything. One night, getting ready for a party, Sara noticed a problem no one seemed to be solving. She wanted to wear white pants, but the undergarments available at the time were uncomfortable, visible, or unflattering. So she improvised it. She cut the feet off a pair of pantyhose. It wasn't elegant, it wasn't polished, but it worked. And in that moment, she realized something important. This wasn't about fashion trends, it was about solving a real, everyday problem. Sara didn't know how to design clothing, she didn't know how manufacturing worked, she had no business plan, but she believed in the solution. She named the product Spanx. Not because it sounded sophisticated, but because it sounded memorable. She used her savings to create a prototype. She wrote the product copy herself. She learned as she went. She wasn't building a brand, she was solving a problem. Sara contacted manufacturer after manufacturer. She explained the idea. She demonstrated the product. Most said no. Some laughed, some dismissed her immediately. More than 100 rejections. Eventually, one factory owner agreed to listen, not because he believed in the product, but because his daughters did. That single yes changed everything. Sara personally pitched Spanx to retailers. She visited stores, she rearranged shelves herself, she stood next to her product to explain it to customers. Then something unexpected happened. Oprah Winfrey named Spanx one of her favorite things. Demand exploded overnight. What started as a homemade solution became a national phenomenon. Spanx grew rapidly. Not through massive funding rounds, not through celebrity endorsements, but through product, belief, and word of mouth. For years, Sara Blakely owned 100% of the company, no outside investors, no loss of control. She became the youngest self-made female billionaire, not by being louder than everyone else, but by staying when quitting would have been easier. Lesson 1. Rejection is information, not a verdict. Lesson 2. Simple solutions scale faster than complex ones. Lesson 3. You don't need permission to start. Sara Blakely didn't win because she was lucky. She won because she kept going. Long enough for one yes to matter. This was Founders Uncovered. If this story inspired you, subscribe. Because sometimes the only difference between failure and success is how many no's you're willing to survive.